Hello there, all you lovely people. This is Dax. Once again, I'm recording a supplemental video to the deck of Divination's video oracle cards. In this particular episode, we will be discussing the Terrifying Good card. Now, before we get started here, if you like the content of this video, please do me a huge favor. Reach down there, click on that like tab, that subscribe button, and up there in the corner there is a bell icon. If you click on that, it will inform you whenever I post a new video to this channel. If you do that, it will really help me out. I'd appreciate it. And also my stuffed gorilla will thank you for it too. So, to the subject at hand, the Terrifying Good card is actually one of the most difficult subjects that this entire deck covers. It's because it requires self-honesty. Self-honesty to a level that we just are not comfortable with. And it's not just self-honesty for you, it's brutal self-honesty for the civilization you live in. It's brutal self-honesty towards everything that you believe is important. Now, one of the issues that you do have to deal with when working with the Terrifying Good card is that in our culture we are taught this very strange notion that evil is somehow more powerful than good. And it's perfectly understandable if you actually believe what you have been taught, because evil puts on a good show. Anyone who is bullying you can get in your face and under threat of pain, punishment, death, whatever, they can make you feel very small, very insignificant. But what needs to be understood is that you are the source of your power. Nobody can create for you a life that you're not willing to create for yourself. You are the reason that you are in the circumstances you are in, when it comes right down to it. It's very easy to make up excuses and to justify why what I just said is not true. I've mentioned this many times. The goal of intelligence is not the truth. The goal of intelligence is to justify whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to believe, and to find a way to do whatever that thing is that you really want to be doing. And so your intelligence will go to great lengths to come up with arguments against everything that I'm saying. But if you look at yourself with enough brutal self-honesty, you will also see that you live in the house that you are in because of you. You've either chosen to stay, you have not chosen to go, you have worked hard to achieve what you've got, positive or negative, whatever it is, you're the reason you live in the house that you're in. You're the reason that you have the lover that you have, if you have a lover. If you don't have a lover, it's because on some level you've chosen not to have a lover. If you do have a lover, you're the one who chose who that lover was. You're the one who chose whether or not you would get together with them. You might not have chosen the specific person and the exact place and time where you met, but the kind of person they are, the form of relationship they have given you, has all been your choice. The same thing can be said for your job, your income, your car, your friends, the clothing that you're wearing, what your hobbies are. Everything has been chosen by you. Once again, your intelligence will fight me on this. It will find an excuse to say that what I'm telling you is not true. Your intelligence is not interested in the truth. Your intelligence is interested in justifying what you want to justify and finding a way to do whatever it is you want to do. This is the reason why people go around murdering the planet that we need in order to survive, because it's good for the economy. It's because they don't give a shit about survival, they give a shit about making money. Another reason why the Terrifying Good is such a difficult card to deal with is because as we live in a civilization, The longer we live in a society, the more invested we become in the society that we are living in. People say that it's about age. When you're young, you're rebellious, you're open to change, you can learn new stuff, and as you get older, you lose those abilities. That is not true. What's actually happening here is you are becoming more invested in the civilization that you're living in. And investment in your civilization, investment in your lifestyle, is once again a choice. You see, when you are young, you have fewer connections to the civilizations, which means you will be less harmed if the civilization changes or, worst case scenario, actually disappears. But as you have experiences with your civilization, once again, this is not age. You do not go through this change because you've gotten older. When you are young, it won't really hurt you if the economy changes, because you have not focused your life on the economy being the way it is. You have not focused your goals on the economy being the way it is. The same thing can be said for politics. The same thing can be said for the existence of countries, period. You see, all this starts to change when you start getting a job and working towards that retirement. All of this starts to change when you join the military. Joining the military is a big one, because the military, it's a force that exists outside of democracy. Well, the United States is not a democracy, it's a corporatocracy. The United States was founded as a republic because the United States had a weak central government with a bunch of very strong, powerful state and local governments. All that changed and the United States became a democracy when it was rearranged and we suddenly had a strong central government with a series of weak state and local governments. But then the United States became a corporatocracy during the Industrial Revolution, because that is when corporations became the force that the government answered to. The people elected to office stopped working for the people, they started working for the corporations. They started working for the people who had the money to bribe them. And this was much longer ago than most people think. People think that this is a recent development, but in reality it happened around the time of the Wild West. It happened around the time that the railroad was being built from the East Coast to the West Coast, because the railroad companies became very powerful. They became very important. The bankers became very important because somebody needed to bankroll this railroad. So all this happened around the time of the Civil War, about 100 years ago, little more than that. The United States, being a country owned by corporations, is not new. This has been the case for a very long time. But when you join the military is a force that operates outside of the democracy, outside of the government as we know it. I mean, they have their own lawyers, they have their own prisons, they have their own rules. When you join the military, you are not actually part of the country anymore. And what happens is, if you go to war and you kill somebody in the name of defending your country, assuming you are a normal, healthy human being. If you're a sociopath, this won't happen. But if you are a good, mentally healthy person, then you will have a psychological need for that murder that you committed to have been necessary. You will have the need to say, yes, I killed these people, but it was for the greater good. I killed these people to protect freedom. I killed these people to protect my family back home. I killed these people for the greater good. Whether this is true or not, if you are a healthy human being, you have a vested interest in feeling this way. And this contributes to the terrifying good. Not because you're supporting the good. You may be supporting the good, you may not. But what you're supporting is the murder that you committed. You are finding an excuse to justify why you took a human life. Once again, only good people will have this problem. Sociopaths who just want an excuse to kill people anyway, they won't care. To them, it's just, I got to kill somebody. Yay. But if you're a good person, you will need this excuse. And this contributes to your attachment to the civilization you've lived in. You have now killed for this civilization. So this civilization needs to be a good one. Painful, but that's the way it is. And so people who have killed for their country, good, mentally healthy people who have taken a human life in order to protect the country or society that they live in, they need to believe this, whether it is true or not. But it's not just the military that does this to you. Going out, buying a car, getting car payments, getting a mortgage for your house, sending your children to school, all of these things invest you in whether or not the civilization you work in is a good one, especially retirement. Retirement is a big one because retirement is held up to you as the reward. It's like a lifetime achievement award. Because you have dedicated your life to supporting the civilization that you live in, you are now being rewarded by not having to work anymore. This is a major investment. You desperately want everything that you dedicated your life towards to be a good thing because it's your entire life. But up until this most recent generation, the generations have been living longer, which also contributes to it. If we're living longer and having healthier lives, then our civilization must be right. Right? Not necessarily. That one aspect may have been better for a time. Once again, the current generations are not expected to live longer and be healthier than the generations before it. We're expecting a decline in quality of life over the next few generations. But when you have spent your entire life, from the first moment you could conceivably be called an adult, up until now, if you have spent all that time dedicated to the support of a civilization, then you feel the need for that civilization to be good, no matter what. That's why the people in North Korea say that they're the good guys and everybody else are the bad guys. That's the reason why the people in Russia say that they are the good guys and everybody else are the bad guys. That's the reason why the people in the United States say that we are the good guys and everyone else are the bad guys. It's because you personally are invested in the idea that everything you've supported your entire life is for the good. Now, let me take some time out to tell you a quick story. This story comes from the book Dune by Frank Herbert. The book Dune has a group of soldiers in it called the Sadukar. I believe I am saying that name right. But the Sadukar, they are the Emperor's personal fighting force. In Dune, the entire known universe is ruled by a universal empire. And the empire is ruled by really two groups. You've got the emperor, current emperor is Shaddam IV, and then you've got the Chom Trading Corporation. Now, the civilization of Dune is actually a corporatocracy, just like the United States is. The only difference is that the figurehead who rules in the name of that corporatocracy is a monarch instead of an elected official. But the Sadukar, they are Emperor Shaddam IV's elite fighting force. They are the most powerful military in the universe. They are so powerful that, at least it is believed this way, the official record is that they have gone several thousand years without losing a single battle. The way the Sadukar are created, their home world, their home planet, the place that they are from, is one of the most horrible places in the universe to live. The government terrorizes the place constantly. The people live in poverty. They live in famine. I don't believe they have any kind of health care whatsoever. The place where the Sadukar are from will kill you, and then if you've survived long enough to enter training, then you go into training and the training could kill you. The act of actually becoming a Sadukar warrior can kill you. But then, once you become a Sadukar warrior, one of the elite soldiers of the Emperor of the known universe, now you're treated like royalty, because when you're not running off to war and killing or being killed, you live like a prince. The Sadukar are among the wealthiest people in the universe. The Emperor makes certain of that. They live in palaces. They have servants to do their every bidding. They have as many lovers as they want. They have so much money. Materially, they get whatever they want. What is the effect that this has on the mindset of the Sadukar? Well, the Sadukar, not only do they not mind the sheer horror that their home world subjected to them in their youth, not only do they not mind this, they support it because they have decided that it's for the greater good, because it creates them, the Sadukar. It's a bullshit worldview. It's a tyranny designed to create professional murderers. But the very people who were tortured by this civilization now support it, because they've decided that this horrible form of life is necessary for the well-being of the greater good. It's all crap, but it's a belief that they have, and so they treat it as if it's real. Now, obviously, this is an extreme case of the situation, but if you dilute it a little bit, it's actually not much different from what you see in the actual world around us. We live in constant fear. The news media makes certain of this. The politicians make certain of this. We make certain of it to each other. We are so invested in the civilization that we live in. We want this civilization to be a good thing so badly that we will justify even the most wretched treatment of our fellow human being, because in our minds it has created the life we have. One of the most important aspects of the terrifying good is we need to change. It's scary to change. The average human being prefers the evil that they are used to over the good that they are not. And this is just fear of the unknown. It's fear of change. That's all that it is. But we need to change because our own civilization is killing us. The belief that the life of a human being who belongs to a different country or a different religion than we do is somehow less valuable because they belong to a different country or a different religion, that causes us to kill each other. The belief that the people in your economic bracket are more important than people in a different economic bracket leads us to kill each other. The belief that it's okay to murder the planet that we need in order to survive, all of us, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your income, regardless of whether you support the environment or you don't, or if you're lukewarm and in the middle. None of that matters. We all need the planet to survive. We are natural creatures. Human beings are a natural species. We are part of nature. We are not at war with nature. Nature is not at war with us. We are part of nature. If we destroy nature, we die. Period. And so the belief that it is okay to murder the environment if it's good for the economy, if it creates jobs, that is killing us. And you always hear the same argument put forward from people that are trying to destroy the environment. Because once again, intelligence, it's not interested in the truth. It's interested in justifying and accomplishing whatever it is you want to do. And the people who want to make money are justifying making money at the environment's expense because they're creating jobs. You always see this argument from the oil companies. They never point out that they're poisoning the air, the ground, the food supply, and everything else. All that you hear from them is, we're creating jobs. Well, what good will that job do you if you die in order to have it? What good will that job do you if your children and their children die so that you can make some money? What's the fucking point? So our refusal to face the terrifying good, our refusal to change simply because the better option is foreign to us, is killing us. Now, it's not entirely correct to say that it's killing the planet, because the planet will be just fine. We're not the first species that the planet has created. We're not even close to it. When we die, the environment and the effects of our behavior will last for a few centuries, and then the planet will shrug it off, new life will form, and chances are that life will never even know we were here. Even if it's intelligent life, that intelligent civilization will probably have no clue that we were ever here. So the planet is not going to be destroyed by us. The planet will go on. The ones who are being destroyed by our refusal to face and deal with the terrifying good is us. We're the ones that are being destroyed by it. Another aspect of the terrifying good, and this is perhaps the most important aspect of the terrifying good, is brutal self-honesty. Almost every problem you have in your life is created by you. As I said at the beginning of the video, you created your lifestyle. You're the one who's living in the house that you're at, regardless of the circumstances. The only way that you could say, with any amount of honesty, well, that's not true, is if you're talking to a child below the age of 10. So, regardless of what your lifestyle is, you're the reason you're there. You're the one who chose the home you're living in. You're the one who chose your lover or lack of lover. You're the one who chose your income. You're the one who chose the people you surround yourself with. All of this is your choice. And you need that sense of brutal self-honesty in order to recognize that this is the case. We all know somebody in our life that we know they're lying to themselves on a regular basis. Look around you. That's what pretty much everybody does. Everyone in your household, your circle of friends, even the people you see on TV. It's almost like the act of lying to yourself in a way where you can justify not changing has become an art form. But if you're going to get better, if you're going to get happier, if you're going to be a more powerful person, you have to look at yourself with brutal self-honesty. You have to face the terrifying good. This is not comfortable, not in the beginning. As you get used to being brutally honest with yourself, it stops becoming such a big deal. It no longer bothers you to brutally tear apart everything that you've done for your entire life. It becomes an easier process to go through. But this is really what the terrifying good is about. The terrifying good requires courage. It requires more courage to be brutally self-honest. It requires more courage to face the terrifying good than anything else you've ever done in your life. Well, before I leave here, I want you to recognize that the reason I have said the things I've said in this video is because I love you all. You are important to me. This planet is important to me. The human species is important to me. It matters to me whether or not we lead good lives. And this is why I've said the things in this video that I have. And I hope that you are wise enough to have understood what I have been saying here. Anyway, this is Dax. I love you all. Until next time.